Hi guys, welcome back to Paint with Josh. Today we did an 18 by 24 inch gorgeous canvas. We're outside, it's amazing weather, it's fantastic. We did a soft blue sky, snowy mountains, kind of smoky hills, forest in the background, these 5 giant evergreens in the front. It turned out fantastic. You obviously think so. That's why you want to paint this painting. So check the description down below, find all the colors you need, make sure you get your canvas nice and wet, get ready to throw some paint on it. We're gonna do it just like this. Oh guys, how did we get outside? My goodness, what are we gonna do on this 18 by 24 inch canvas? You've already seen it. I hope it turned out well. I'm literally about to make it up as we go. So I'll show you the colors we have. Sap green, cad yellow, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, and titanium white. Nice little easy color palette for us today. So let's get our phthalo blue onto our brush. Good amount of phthalo blue. All right, we're gonna set this down. We're gonna come in from the top. We've already primed the canvas with Bob Ross liquid white. So there is white on there. And that's gonna allow all that blue to kind of blend into these different things, right? Let's leave a nice big white area for our clouds too. Nice giant white area for our clouds. All right, people always ask, like, how do you get your clouds so white? Well, you leave a giant white area for them. That's how. And then, no matter what you do, you'll have these giant white clouds. All right, I always thought, people always think that plein air paintings like this, you're gonna paint whatever you're looking at, but I always thought it'd be funnier if we painted something different than what we were looking at in a plein air painting, because people would expect you to paint what's behind us, right? But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna paint some beautiful thing. Look at all these giant white clouds we're gonna have in there. A little bit more of our blue, just phthalo blue, that's all we need. Let it blend down in, just like that. These giant puffy white clouds up in there. Now let's take a different brush, take our dry brush, and really just start to soften the edges of those. Kind of mix it in, soften where our sky meets our clouds, just on the edges though. And it's going to transfer a little bit of that blue color into there, which is totally fine. We don't need it. We don't need it. You can always go behind your canvas and blend out that little line too. Things a pain in the butt sometimes. And you can see the more and more we go down, the lighter and lighter and lighter it becomes, because it mixes with that liquid white and gets down to our horizon. Beautiful little thing, nice and simple, just like that. Let's wash these brushes off. That is a pretty little blue sky, baby. What do you think?
Super nice.
Now, why don't we take some of our titanium white, I'm gonna pull that out just like that, scrape up a little bit of it and come up here and just start dropping in little things, little bits of detail, little bits of white, little bits of soft, and then we'll go through and we'll blend those, right? Maybe we get these far off little ones that live down here that kind of mix in with that blue that's already on the canvas. And just very simply and easily, we're gonna come up and just very lightly mix and mix and mix until we have this very soft white puffy cloud off in the distance. And the more that we mix in with that blue, the more shadows it's going to provide inside of our cloud. So we don't want to overdo it all. We don't want to have it all be the same color or the same anything, right? Differences in color, as Josh likes to say. With that soft little floater out there, he kind of got lost. So you could put him out here, just nice and soft, little flat little thing. And then just very simply and easily go over the top of it, and you got it just like that. Nice and simple. Okay, let's take a little bit of our black, a little bit of our crimson, a little bit of our blue, and we'll mix all these guys up together into this nice dark blackish looking color. It's a very dark purpley color. And it'll look black. And we want it to do so it'll stand out away from whatever we're gonna do over here, right? So let's say we have these giant bits of just humongous mountain that come up into our sky just by scraping it up, coming over here and just depositing it down, only worried about what our top edge is going to look like. All right, maybe it comes down this way, or we come over to the edge and we drop down and it shapes itself over here, and you can have this whole little thing. You can build whatever you want to build. This is your chance to play creator, right? You're gonna create a world as you see fit. What are you doing over there, babe?
I'm taking pictures.
Beautiful little thing, just like that. Use that same old dirty, nasty brush. Just going to start to pull it down in different directions, right? Maybe this guy goes over here, he starts to fall off the side, or we can continue and shape him. Say he's much more flat over there. Take this guy, start to pull it down. Maybe we pull this guy in the other direction, right? Or you come and you can turn, just like that. Start to create little different things. Differences in color. Differences in your mountain, right? It doesn't all have to be the same, you know, all sloping one way or the other. I see that a lot, where you get a mountain that's just all sloping to the right, sloping to the right, sloping to the right. Well, when you go outside and you look, it really doesn't look like that. It's a whole mixture and jumble of giant rocks all on top of each other. And look, as we mix it down here, all of a sudden, poof, we get this floating mountain off in the sky. Nice and simple, guys. Man, the weather is fantastic out today. It's fantastic. Okay, now let's look and we'll decide where we want to highlight certain things, right? You can always do like I love doing winter scenes. And even if you don't want to do a winter scene, you can do a summer scene with a little bit of snowy mountain in it. So let's mix up a little bit of blue and white, and that's going to be our shadows, right? We're going to scrape up a little bit of our dark, mix that in so it goes a little dull gray. And then we're going to have a little bit more white over here and scrape up some of that dull gray and mix that into a much lighter color. See how it's much lighter? Bam, bam. Shadows, light. Now we're going to come up here with our shadows first. And we don't want it too terribly the same color as this, so let's decide maybe all of our shadows are off this side. And you don't even have to cover them all, right? You can leave nice, deep, dark areas like that where not everything is covered. It doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. A little bit of that light blue down in here, and then we can come back in with our highlight color, right? Really get jagged up on the top of our mountains, let it fall through as it goes off to the side. Right, but again, it doesn't all have to be this one shape, right? We can take another one. Maybe we went this way. We got a little piece of rock that just decided all of a sudden to be flatter than the rest. And it's all just a jumble of rocks, huh, Bailey?
Yeah.
Let them mix down in. That's a cool looking mountain right there. All right, maybe some of this guy got hit with a little bit of sunlight. Maybe a little bit back in here, right, as it's falling down. Not the whole thing, though. You never want to have the whole mountain covered in snow or shadow, right? You got to have differences in color, like we always say. We always say it, Bailey.
Yeah.
Try to tell them.
Your t-shirt.
It is on the back of the t-shirt. We got Bailey out here on vacation, taking time away from seeing family and swimming and all that to come hang out with Dad outside while we do this plein air painting. Fantastic. I like that. It's a cool little bit of a snowy mountain right there, B. Right, not all of these have to be light. You can let them go back into the darkness. Maybe take some of that bluer, more shadowy snow, put it back there. Just let it fall off. Again, it's very similar to the color that we created, and we did it like that for a reason. So you'd have all these differences in your color, right? Take our brush, just swipe up very softly in the direction that you went down. So if you came down like this, you swipe up. Over here, these were straight up, so we'll swipe them straight up. Off to the side, and then you can add a little bit of force, a little bit of pressure. And all of a sudden, you got a nice, gorgeous, beautiful mountain with all these white clouds. It's fantastic. It's fantastic, Bailey. All right, let's do another piece of rock as we come in from over here. Right? Another big old jumbly bit of rock. Doesn't even have to go to the edge. All right, it's going to come down in front of this mountain just to bring us down. I like being down here before we start doing anything. So if your mountain starts up a little high, you just got to bring it down. And that's all. Watch us cut all the way in front of this guy. It's like a little ridge. Bam, bam. Pull it away. Pull it away. And leaving it messy like that. And we're doing that purposely, right? Because as we pull down, those little messes are going to turn into little ridges where our mountain is going to have more detail, right? And as long as we don't take them and mush them all away, then we'll be good. Take this guy, swipe him up to the top first. See if we can get a little bit of forest on the top of this mountain, right? Just by swiping up from whatever paint is there. And then we'll come down, start to drag our little bits back and forth because they lead us down to the water, right? Or down to the snow or whatever we got going on down at the bottom down here. Just like that. Nice, gorgeous little thing. Again, this little ridge in the back of the canvas will play tricks on you, so be careful with it, right? Nice, soft. We haven't even really painted anything. We haven't painted any water. We haven't painted any snow or any shadows. It's all just happening on its own. All on its own. Just like that. Gotta finish our sides, of course. Gotta finish the sides. Always finishing the sides. Ooh, this one's turning out good, Pete. All right, why don't we take this guy and we bring in like another little hill of trees as it came down. Where they end up connecting over here. And then we're just gonna kind of make them soft at the bottom is really it. That's all you gotta do. And just by doing that and saving that little bit of light area, we trap some distance in there. Trap some distance, but we don't want to have it be too much, right? We want to have another few come down in here. All these little different things, little different trees, far away little things. Beautiful, fantastic. And the more and more you mess with it, the more you're gonna soften everything or make it go away. So it's up to you what you want yours to look like, but remember to add your color and do all that. How you doing, sir? Doing very well.
Good. Have you picked it? Do you like to pick up a brush and throw some colors around?
She does, yeah.
Cool.
I like drawing more.
Yeah, she's a
I
sketcher.
like drawing more.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she's a sketch artist more than a painter. All right, let's see what we're gonna do.
I was thinking that you could do like a waterfall kind of thing, and then like some big trees or like.
I was thinking like some water back here,
and then
and then like some
trees.
bushes and some trees in the front.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, let's do that. Well, that was a good conversation with a patron. That's very cool. So let's take a little bit of our phthalo blue. We're gonna come in here. We're just gonna start pulling in from the side. Just like that. Nice, gorgeous phthalo blue. We could have done it when we did our sky, but you know, paint with Josh, we never do anything the way we're supposed to, right? Never do anything the way we were supposed to do it. Ain't that the truth? Look at that, my canvas is drying up already. Might have to add a little touch of liquid white just to help everything blend. Look at that. Yeah, it just fills in all those little bits, all those little holes in our canvas. All right, drop a little bit of it over there. Always have to improvise when you're doing something outside, away from your studio, away from your, your home base. You gotta improvise and make stuff happen. Gotta make it happen, Bailey.
Yeah.
Okay, just like that. Now we've got some far away bit of water, some reflective area, some sort of something. And then we can add in our bits of trees and everything else. Let's see.
That cricket is so annoying.
What is it?
Cricket.
Oh, you can hear a cricket.
Can you?
I do hear him, actually.
Over there.
I hear him. All right, let's do a little bit of this. Why don't we make up a little bit more color? We'll take a little black, little crimson, little blue. Make up our shadowy color that we wasted messing around with our mountain. Mix all that up just like that. All right, and then we're gonna come in. Gonna grab up our fan brush, get it all into that mix, and then we're gonna come back over here and we're gonna pop in a few of these trees. We're just gonna come down all the way down to our thing, kind of covering all that misty area where none of our details are. And just covering down, filling in all that space. Gotta fill it in, use that brush all which ways you can just to fill in all that space, get it all nice and dark and nasty. Dark and nasty, that's how Bailey likes it. Hubby. All right, it's getting sunny now. The sun is out. Gonna swipe these guys up. We're also gonna pull just a bit of them down until we decide where our horizon line wants to live, right? Maybe we get a little bit of fog over here, and then we can drop a whole nother piece of forest in below this guy.
That's so cool, like that white line. It looks
Oh,
like
up
an
here on the
airplane.
thing? Yeah, it's from the car.
It looked like an airplane was flying by.
Should we do a chemtrail up there like that?
Just follow the line of the car.
Yeah, right.
It looks like it's on the painting, like you blended it really well.
Yeah, right. Do it like that. There it goes. Off in the distance just because the painting told us to do so, huh? Okay, we're gonna come back, we're gonna scrape up more of that. Look at that, the sun and the heat is making the paint go a little wet. And why don't we come from over here, and we'll pop in another little section. It's gonna come down in front of this guy. Right, down, down, down to Chinatown, right? Down there. Down to Chinatown. And all we're really doing is just making it messy, right? That's it, make it messy down there. We're gonna come back in, pop in a little bit of our fog, tapping down, tap, 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 bring it down. So we bring it down, we're tapping it down, Bailey. Then we're gonna swipe up. And all of a sudden we have this another little section of forest. We're getting closer and closer to us, right? Closer and closer to the level that we're sitting on, or that we're standing on down here. Now, what if we did a little bit of our phthalo green and our cad yellow, phthalo green, our sap green and our cad yellow, sorry. We're gonna mix those two together, and then maybe, who knows, we had this little bit of a hill start forming down there. All these little differences, little difference in color, little bits of grass, little something. As it comes down and mixes in with all that blue, it's just gonna turn more green, which is fantastic. Make it nice and soft. Now all of a sudden we got a little bit of green in there, B.
Yay.
Take more yellow, more green. Maybe we come from this side. We have these beautiful little bits of grass in there. All right, soft little differences as we come down to wherever we're gonna end up meeting. Now why don't, just for the heck of it, we'll get a little bit of our white and our green. And we'll come out here, just come in and pop just a few little details into these guys back here. Just change them into summer trees, right? Summertime trees, summertime trees. Just little dabs, because all we're doing is just looking for that little bit of detail. And then when we go like this, we're gonna swipe those up into their own little highlights. Their own little messy bits of their own little trees. Look at that. Fantastic. Far off a little bit. It's looking really good, Bailey.
Oh, there's a bee. There's a bee that was in your painting.
Oh yeah?
It like landed on your painting.
Let's get some of that darkness. We'll bring it down here. Just that same dark color. Because why not? You gotta have differences. So now it's gone from being water to being like this little faraway grassland type deal. In which case, we'll get some more of that. We'll brighten it up with a little bit of our liquid white. We'll bring it in here like it's a little bit different. A little bit different. All right, now, these guys, just so we have some differences in color back there, B. That's really neat. Really very cool. Always got to cover the edges, LB. All right, let's make up a little bit more color. Black, crimson, blue. Mix it up. Nice and nasty. Come in, let's start throwing in some foreground detail here. And we've got a little tree that lives off here. And he starts growing like this, and you just push up. Just push up with your brush, nice and thick with the paint. And you let him grow. He starts growing down just like that. All right, you take him, we can pull him off, we can do whatever. We can come back, maybe he's got a friend that lives over here. Pop Pop, 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 pop. Just pop them up. That's it. That's all we're doing. Just making those brush marks, just like that. Allowing some space in between, of course. Gotta have them grow. They can't just be too piled up on each other. That's not fun. A little bit lower than this guy down here, and that way, see what I mean? Sits in front like that. You take these guys, kind of decide where you want them to live. Shape them off, pull them in whatever direction, and all of a sudden you got a cool little bit of tree starting to happen over here. If we did like a little pathway from the back coming in here. Start to pull it away. Or if it's not a pathway, at least it's a ridge. It's some kind of something. Some little difference in color, right? That's what we're looking for. Just a little difference in color. So it's different. What do you think about that?
It's pretty.
It's not too bad. We can keep burning through this shadow color though. Let's see. Black, crimson, blue. Why don't we throw some green in with this guy over here? And he'll be a slightly different kind of dark color. And then we got to go highlight these guys. How long have we been filming, B?
Like 30 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes and you've already done a whole painting.
Right.
Almost a whole painting.
Bring that guy down a little bit more. That you can pull him in either direction now, right? And all of a sudden we have a whole new plane of where we're trying to live. What this tree is doing, what it's doing over here, and depending on your angles, you can guide your shadows and your darkness to make it look like however you want. Let's do one more in here, kind of big. Just like that. Come back in, tap. Make sure you have enough paint on your brush. Come back and tap it. Let it grow. Look at all that color behind there too. It's gonna stand out beautifully. Let this guy grow down however far you want him to grow down. Right, take him, pull him off in each direction. And all of a sudden it's very simply done, guys, just like that. You start to piece together what you want your landscape to look like. That's very cool. Why don't we do one more big tree? Do a guy over here. Higher than our mountain, coming down. The more we push, the more you gotta kind of push against your canvas like that. And then we're gonna load it up with that dark color. Just mix them all in together because we're about done with this painting. This is a nice one. Come back in just very lightly, start tapping. And start to build your tree. It doesn't all have to connect, but you can have yours connect if you want it to. It doesn't have to though. And the more and more we push, the bigger and bigger we spread out. So we're getting bigger and bigger on the way down. But you don't want to go too giant, right? So don't let it keep growing out like a giant bit of a pyramid. You want to keep it in there, keep it nice, let some come in, some come out. And then maybe we'll be down here by the time we're all said and done with the guy. All right, you got to have enough paint though. If you don't have enough of that thick, dark paint, it's not going to grab. And then your highlights are going to have struggle. You're going to struggle with those, getting them to grab too. So make sure it's nice and thick, fingery, I call it. They stick out like that. Okay, let's wash these off and we'll highlight some of these guys. We'll get a bit of liquid white. Gonna come over here into our green very lightly. We want it very sloppy and very messy. And then just come up and just very lightly start to bounce against our trees. Whatever comes off is gonna come off. You don't need it to be super thick or super colorful or all the same, right? We always talk about differences in color. This is what we mean. They don't have to all be the same. I'm gonna take a little bit of paint thinner with this one and come in here just so it stays nice and wet. It'll be a slightly different color than our other guy. All right, coming in, popping in little things, just touching though. Whatever comes off, comes off. You don't have to smush. You don't want to squish your paint when you're doing this part. It's just touching, very lightly. Very lightly doing it. A little bit more paint thinner, just to keep it nice and thin and wet, so it comes off of the brush easily. If it doesn't come off the brush easily and you have to push, then you're not doing it. You got too much paint or not enough thinner. Too much thinner. All over the place. Just like that, tapping in. You don't have to just squish it, you don't have to ruin it, you don't have to do anything. Now what we did do is, with that thinner, lost a little bit of our dark shadowy color. Textured area. So let's get our little brush back out and come back in and just fix it. All right, you never have to be upset, right, Bailey? You can always go back in and fix it.
Yeah.
Now we're going to come in again. We only got a few left to do. Got a few left to do. This guy up here. Okay, starts popping down. Flip your brush over when you start running out, or if you have to push too hard, right? Flip the brush over, it starts getting all that nasty paint in it. Go back in, get some more. And then you just want it to fall off the brush easily, right? You don't have to have it be super bright. It doesn't have to be the greenest tree you've ever seen. Really doesn't. Because if you go out in nature and you look, not everything is all the same, right? It's never going to be exactly the same color. Let's get a little bit more of that liquid white just so we can get it to stick on. Add our little bits of our highlight tree, right? Don't have to have everything. Come over here. Just little dabs, right? Let the green grow out from the shadow. It doesn't all have to be the same. And they don't even all have to be the same color. You know what I mean? It really doesn't. Add a little bit of details in here in the front with our grass, just the smallest little bits. Just from whatever we had left on our brush, right? Come back in, a couple little swipes. You don't want to make it go away, so don't swipe it too much. Give it a couple little swipes. Here and there and here. But a few little tiny little details. And this one turned out pretty great, Bailey. Take this guy over here. Shape him a little differently. Keep it nice and dark back there, right?
You're not gonna do brushes or bushes?
No, I think that'll be good right there. I'll throw a couple little sticks and twigs in just by scraping up from the bottom of whatever, you know, it's gonna reveal a little bit of that white canvas from underneath. They don't all have to be the same or do the same amount or anything. And let's see. Just like this, we'll come up here, add the birds in. Bam, bam, bam. Can you see them, Dee?
Mm-hmm.
You can see the birdies. Just like that. It's gonna be very cool. I could get some paint to get onto the brush, Bee. That would be nice. There we go. Well, all right, guys, that's it. Let's do the intro real quick, and then we'll get out of here. How's it look, Bee?
Really good.
I like it too. It's fantastic. Fantastic. Just like that. One and done, dude. Cool. All right, let's do
the intro.
Well, guys, sorry. Thank you for checking this video out and watching it and trying it and sending in your version. And we can't wait to see you. And until then, you guys take care. Have the rest of a good day. Pow! Hey guys, welcome back to Paint with Josh. What is going on? We are outside. It's amazing. It's beautiful weather. We had a fantastic view that we didn't paint because I thought that'd be more funny. That's stupid. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to Paint with Josh. Where are we? My goodness, it's a Plain with Josh plein air painting, right? Plain with Josh. That's stupid. Hey guys, welcome back to Paint with Josh. Today we did an 18 by 24 inch canvas. Beautiful blue sky, snowy mountains, kind of smoky hills and trees and fantastic foreground.